What's up, people? In this video I am going to talk about a concept. This is really like a mindset thing about why you are out of shape. Like, I kind of wonder, like, do the people who watch my videos, are you guys actually out of shape? Because I get the feeling most of you are in pretty good shape. I don't know, that's just kind of the vibe that I get. Like, how else could you stand listening to me if you're not in shape? I don't know. It's possible. Maybe there's like a bunch of you out there who are secretly out of shape. You watch my videos in shame, you know, dreaming of the day where like you'll actually start working out. I don't know, but if that's you, the silent majority, or just silent people, this video is for you. We're gonna talk about it right now. Maybe some of your mindsets that are keeping you obese or fat. Excuse me. All right, now before we get into that, subscribe to my channel so you can experience more shame as I say bad things about overweight people and attack their character, and maybe offer some solutions here and there. Not really sure. Yeah, also check out legendarysuitjammers.com. I'm not wearing one of their shirts right now because I can't be bothered to iron it. But just use your imagination as if I was and you're very curious, so you go check them out. Link in the description. Okay, now let's get to the point. This idea came to me. You know, I am somehow on medium.com's mailing list, right? I get like these emails from them, I don't know about every day, like whatever. Sometimes I get a bunch of emails from them in a row and then I don't hear from them for a while. So lately I've been getting a lot of fitness emails from them. And I'm not really sure why, but somehow like they think that I enjoy reading about fat acceptance. Okay, so I'm like on, you know, there's this one blogger, I don't remember what her name is, but maybe I'll leave a link in the description. Where the fuck am I? But basically her whole thing, she's like a fat woman blogger, I guess, is like the best way that I can describe it. And, oh my God, I'm so lost. And her whole thing is that she's like writing about being fat, and she's like consumed with this idea, no pun intended, about being fat and being overweight and how hard it is for her and how her life is so difficult because she's fat and all these things she has to go through and her inner turmoil. And like, she's a good writer, you know, and the girl writes like a lot about it, I guess. I don't know, I want to make a joke about like, whatever, I'm not going to. Anyway, she writes a lot, she's a good writer. I get it, everybody's got to eat. Don't hate the player, hate the game. But it kind of just made me think, like, we all have blind spots, of course. And for somebody who, my blind spot, I would say, is not fitness, personally, it's easy for me to look at somebody like that and pick out flaws in the mindset, right? I can say like, well, why don't you just go to the gym, you know? Or why don't you buy some vegetables? Like, to me it seems obvious, right? But she's got this thousands of words of like explanations about why she's fat and how it's a struggle for her, and like all of this stuff about like being obese and how she doesn't fit in airplane seats, and like she went to go see a baseball game and didn't fit in the baseball game seats, and traumatized her, and little kids point at her and call her fat, and like it hurts her feelings. And what I realized when I read this, because I read a few of her articles and I thought it was pretty interesting, but after I read a few of them, I realized that a lot of times we have a problem and we think we want a solution. Okay, oh my God, back in my apartment. We think we want a solution to the problem, okay? But I think what it really is, and I've heard this concept before, maybe you agree or maybe you don't, where you, like a negative state of mind, a negative attitude is addictive, right? To get caught up in the struggle of whatever your problem is, to experience that pain and that inner conflict, I can't remember the word right now, but cognitive dissonance, where like you want to do one thing, but you're not doing it, so you are just kind of conflicted about it. To experience that feeling, that emotion, is addictive on some level, right? I don't know why, right? Maybe, you know, brain chemicals or whatever, but to experience that feeling is addictive, and if you were to solve the problem, then you wouldn't experience it anymore. So that's kind of your subconscious motivation for not actually solving your problem, right? This is like a concept that I've heard in self-development. I don't know if it's true or not, but I think, you know, that there's definitely some credence to that. I think that's entirely possible. So how does this relate to you? Okay. In your situation, like, is this you? Are you addicted to the struggle of trying to lose weight? Because if you are, then it would maybe help to identify that. And again, it's hard for me to give advice in this area. I mean, it's not hard for me to give advice. Jesus Christ. It's not hard for me to give advice because I can say, like, go join a gym and go to the gym and eat vegetables, or, you know, don't drink soda. Like, come on, it's not hard. You know what I mean? I just want to say that to her. But the problem is that it seems like she's so wrapped up in this whole identity that she has as somebody who is struggling with a problem that it doesn't seem like she would even care. And I'm just using her as an example, right? I could be talking about you, you know? Are you so wrapped up in this struggle that you're not able to just take the very basic advice that you know would help solve whatever your problem is? And the reason I'm talking about this is because, you know, it's very easy to look at people and point at them and say, oh, you have this problem, it's so obvious, you're so stupid, you know? But we all have blind spots like this in our life. So I was thinking, all right, if this girl has this problem, and this is my own personal theory, again, nothing against fat or overweight people, but I feel like they have this tendency is stronger with them, right? Because it's you require so much mental gymnastics to be able to kind of push aside the actual like facts as to why you're fat or obese or whatever, as opposed to some other areas of your life that are kind of invisible and can go undetected, right? So I was thinking about my own life. I was like, what areas do I have this in? Like, how am I doing this to myself? This is just a side note before we get back on track, but you know, I travel a lot, I go to a lot of different countries, and I used to have the attitude of like kind of being upset about it, right? Because to you, who's, you know, I don't know where most of you live, but you probably don't live like I do, probably stay in one place for, you know, years at a time. You have roots set down, you have the same job, you have the same whatever, same type of lifestyle. It doesn't change several times a year. And I would kind of, you know, and I've been moving around, going to different places for like, I don't even know, like 10 years, honestly. Like, it's been a very long time. And I would look at that and I would think to myself, man, this has to stop at some point. When is this going to stop, you know? And I would just get caught up in the struggle. I was like so conflicted about, oh, you know, it's not right, it's not perfect, like I'm this, and I just got attached to the idea that I secretly thought was romantic about bouncing around from place to place and never being satisfied with where I was and always wanting to go somewhere new. And I just kind of like tied my identity to that because that's a very unique problem for people to have. And I was like, subconsciously, I was like, okay, that's me. You know, I am that's my unique problem. Nobody else has that problem. I'm the one who has that problem. So again, tangent over, bringing it back, is that you? You know, are you making excuses as far as why you're not in shape that are unique to you, where nobody else would understand if you tried to tell them? I don't know, you know? Is that really true? Like, the same way that I can look at somebody who's making excuses about being fat or being overweight and just kind of throw darts at their theory and, in my mind, pop their balloons fairly easily, maybe you can look at my problems, like, for example, the one that I just said, and be like, and again, it's a blind spot for me, so I don't really know what a correct answer would be. But somebody would say something like, well, why don't you just choose a place and stay there? Or why don't you choose 2 places and rotate back and forth? Or why don't you just have a system? Or why don't you get a job that could allow you to travel as much as you want? Whatever, something like that. I'm just like spitballing here as if I'm somebody else talking to me. It's confusing. Anyway, that's my advice for people who might be overweight. And again, this could be applicable for any problem, but this is like a fitness channel, so, you know, we're gonna talk about fitness. Okay, so to recap, are you caught up in the struggle of being overweight or trying to lose weight, and you've just kind of associated your identity too much to a fat person who's trying to lose weight and can't lose weight, that's like you, if we were to soundbite your identity. Is that you? Okay, if that's you, you have to just change it, I guess, right? Just instead of being the fat person who's trying to lose weight, like I don't think about that of myself. I don't think I'm like this fat person who's like trying to stay in shape and trying to lose, get in shape. I'm just like, oh, I'm a fit person, that's just who I am. So when my fitness level drops below a certain point, I guess unconsciously act to bring it back up. I'll work out harder, I'll work out more often, I'll watch what I eat more, I'll cut out some of the unhealthy foods, maybe I'll do a fast or something like that, okay? So anyway, what do you think about my little mindset tip? Am I right? Am I wrong? What are some, okay, how about this? If you have lost a lot of weight, what was the change in mindset that you had that allowed you to lose the weight? Okay, let me know in a comment. Also, if you guys have any suggestions for videos of other YouTubers that I can watch, something that you're curious about, you want my opinion on it, let me know in the comment section. I did that Stephanie Buttermore video breakdown and I really enjoy doing that. I would like to do more like that. I don't know like who the people to watch and pick apart or whatever critique are. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Check out legendarysuitgemmas.com. Peace.